Morning everybody, it's Pam Steele and I'm going to be talking, it's day 3 now of the plan, the getting fitter plan, the losing a bit of weight plan. It's called Pam's Plan, and but also learnt from a lot of the things that I picked up from the Mayor book and also Grey Shop Manor. And also a lot of work I've done with weight control programs as well. So, and also having written my book called Grit Not Shit, which you'll find on my website, which is Crisis Advice, CRISISADVICE.co.uk. Now that's particularly chapter 7. So as you can see, I've just got off the spin bike. I'm still sweating, not looking my best, maybe no makeup on, but not bad for a 66-year-old. So let's think about our project. Now, having come out of lockdown, you may have lost a little, you may have gained a little bit of weight. Some of you may have lost some, but I think a lot of us have gained weight, maybe eating a bit too much, drinking a bit too much alcohol, or coming up on this maybe impending lockdown. A lot of parts of the country are already in lockdown. So it's a good project to have. I mean, let's face it, Boris got COVID-19 because he said he was overweight and not fit enough. So if we can get fitter, lose a bit of weight, then we're going to protect ourselves a lot more against this particular virus. So what I'm going to do is, let's see where I was. Yeah, this project, I wouldn't give you a project if I didn't think it worked. So I already told you that I'd lost half a stone when I went to that health spa, and I'm now working on losing maybe at least £5, if not a little more, on the next 10 days and sharing it with all of you. So yesterday I did give you quite a lot of information in the end. It was supposed to be boom boom in a nutshell, and I think you ended up with quite a lot of information. So what I'm going to do is to just go back into the nutshell and explain some of the bits again. So the key thing was, remember, no grains, that's your bread, and no sugar, that's all the sugary sweet things you really don't want to have, but you can have some fruit, that's fructose. So no caffeine, although if you're desperate to have a coffee or a tea, you can have decaffeinated and they're just as tasty. No alcohol, although I will tell you that there is a little bit of good news that you might be able to have 1 glass of red wine with your meal. So yeah, all those white foods, then junk foods, they're all out. White meaning pasta, potato, except sweet potato is good. So pasta, potato, bread, what was it? The cakes, the pastries, all that sort of junky food are all out. So what we started yesterday was a typical day, which you can gear when I give you all the various different shopping list a bit later on in the week. You can gear to yourself. So first thing in the morning, as soon as you wake up, hot water, or like I have, hot lemon and ginger, or if you want a decaf cup of tea, that's up to you. And start straight off with that. And then you can do your exercise. I take the dog for a walk, do my spin bike, and I haven't had breakfast yet. And then a bit later on, I try and keep it till 10 o'clock. I did have half a banana today because I was really hungry. So, but the main breakfast I'm going to have at 10 o'clock. So yes, and then when you come to breakfast, you can either have a little bit of fruit, a little bit of muesli. I tend to make my own up with oats and grains, a little bit of dried fruit, raisins, apricots, and add a few walnuts as well. So it makes it a nice little mixture with a few, some fruit and a bit of kefir yogurt. Kefir, I mentioned, is one of the really good yogurts. It's a fermented yogurt. Good probiotic, and you can add a little bit of honey to make it taste a bit better. So afterwards, if you can, oh yes, and breakfast you can generally have, if you want to prefer a cooked breakfast, you can have a poached egg, tomatoes, avocado, mushrooms, all sorts of things. So that's all within the allowed plan. Remember, you shouldn't actually have huge quantities. You tend to sort of say, right, well, you know, with a main meal, you'd have protein on one side, carbohydrate on the other side of your hands. So going like that, so you look at your own hands. But certainly breakfast, you shouldn't be having so much protein. That's really mostly your sort of daily allowance for protein. So getting in a walk. Now I know some of you think, well, you know, you've probably got quite a flexible lifestyle. You can do all this, but most of you are working from home. So you can fit all of these things around your work. So I don't think there's any reason why you can't do lots of these things or some of these things. So, and also between meals, make sure that you drink as much water as you can. So yes, it's something like 2 litres would be the ideal amount. Then getting on to your next lunchtime meal. Remember, you don't drink water during meals because that dilutes your digestive juices. Look at me, I'm sweating. I told you I sweat when I did a spin class. So then you have a salad, so a little bit of protein if you want, mainly vegetables, all of those things that your food when early on in the day can really digest well. Remember I said to you yesterday, no raw after 4. So because later on in the day, your digestion isn't as efficient as it is earlier on. And then in the afternoon, if you can, maybe another opportunity to do walk, another opportunity to take a bit more water. And then you've got the evening, which I tend to say try and eat by 6 o'clock. I know it's early for most of you, but if you can really make it absolutely latest 7, that would be great. And this is where you're having more cooked protein, vegetables, cooked vegetables, still highly coloured. You can still have aubergines, onions, the alums, which are like your onions, your garlic. All of those different things are really good for you. And mix all of those in, a bit of sweet potato. If you really like a dessert, then you could have maybe like a poached pear or poached fruit. So, or a little bit of if you've made up a mix of fruit and yogurt. Going on then, and the reason as I said, 6 o'clock is the latest is because, as I said to you earlier, that your digestion isn't great. And if you eat at 6 and don't eat again till 9 or 10 the next morning, you're really giving your body a great amount of time. It's called intermittent fasting, and you're giving your body a really lovely amount of time to settle down, particularly when you go to bed and you have that hot water again. So hot water, which in the morning helps with your setting your digestive system off, increasing your metabolism. In the evening, it's more of a soothing, again, good for digestion, pre-sleep. And as I said to you yesterday, sleep, which I'll tell you more about, is one of the most vital elements of it. So I really wanted to hit home that if you can make notes, that would be great. I am going to expand on those in the next few days, but I just wanted to just really say how easy, that's as simple as that. If you follow the different plan, if you do a bit of exercise daily, if you drink your water regularly, then you really are set for, as I said yesterday, what was it I said? Did I say that yesterday? I hadn't lost weight for 5 years. I'd tried all sorts of diets. I might have lost a few pounds and then put them back on again. But this one I'm really excited about because it's the only one where I've actually felt like I've had fabulous food. And it's really, for my mental health as well as my physical health, it's really, really boosted everything. So, and I'd like you to feel like that. I'd like you to feel like that because everyone's a little bit, and look at me, I've gone for nearly 10 minutes. So I'm supposed to be trying to keep it to 5 and it never quite works out. Anyway, remember, have a read of chapter 7 in my book, Grit Not Shit, and I'll try and keep them a bit more brief in future. Okay, have a lovely day, everyone. I know it's raining, but there you go. That was one of the advantages for me of having a spin bike because I could do it inside. If you haven't got, and you don't feel like going out, if you've got a bike, maybe get one of those holders that sort of you can put the bike on and use it like a spin bike. Otherwise, you could always use an online fitness class, like I was doing under the last lockdown. I was doing the Joe Wicks. Really have to go. Okay, see you all tomorrow. Bye.